Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy and I'm your man, Mr. Elton Henry. And today we're going to talk about another film. However, the first time I'll talk about a documentary, which is actually one of my favorite documentaries to ever watch. And I'm a casual fan of wrestling. I watched it from like the early 2000s till I think I stopped a little bit before 2008, 2009. It just, I don't know, fell out of it. But and I remember what happened. I remember I went to like Hollywood Videos or something, and then there were like three VHS videos I ended up getting. One was the Royal Rumble, 2001, hardcore cassette. That was like an hour, highlighting the top, well, some of the iconic, I guess, fights from hardcore wrestlers, WWF. It was hosted by Taz. But the one I am going to talk about today, one of my favorite documentaries of all time. Beyond the Mat. And it covers the life of Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and Jake the Snake Roberts, directed by Barry W. something. And it's a 90-minute documentary, really just exploring the lives of the three wrestlers mentioned, of how long they've been in the industry, with a few other cameos from other celebrities, with Dwayne Johnson and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Really, the documentary is really about this guy, the filmmaker, how he been influenced, or I wouldn't say influenced, inspired by wrestling. He's also a screenwriter, works in the industry. How he pretty much looked up to wrestling, how it helped formulate his livelihood. So he decides to chronicle the WWF industry, where it shows you really the behind the scenes work, where they kind of build it up, stage it, like, I'm sure everybody knows it's a stage, but they show you like it's like a movie, movie on set, like a company where they're producing movies, where Vince McMahon in the documentary, and you can actually watch it for free on YouTube. There's a documentary, I might list the link down below, where you could watch it. And I find it fascinating, where they pretty much treat it much like a movie, like on a movie set. You have lines, you create a character, there's music, they get all into that, but they mostly focus on the three wrestlers mentioned: Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and Jake the Snake Roberts. And you see where their lives have been, how much of their wrestling lives impacted their family life. Terry Funk wrestles, I think he had a 30-year career from the time that the documentary was made. It was made back in 99, 98 or 99. Because I think it covered the Royal Rumble of 98, where Mankind and Dwayne Johnson had a I Quit match. And I believe that was in 99 or 90, 98 or 99. It's one of the years. That chronicles towards the end of the documentary Mick Foley in that iconic match, and you see his family present there, that his kids really look up to him. And, they love him. And honestly, there was moments where there was a scene towards the end of the documentary where it's kind of heartbreaking, where you have Mick Foley's kids, and Mick Foley is one of my favorite wrestlers, hands down. Even though he loses pretty much almost every battle, he leaves a iconic stunt that just makes it memorable, and I loved it. Uh, And during that match, the filmmaker chooses to focus more on the family's reaction to Mick Foley during the match. And then you see the family, most specifically the kids, upset and mad seeing their dad getting beat up, and it's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. It's heartbreaking. And then later, the filmmaker shows the footage to Mick Foley and then his wife, and then you see his reaction to it, where he feels like he's a bad father for having his kids witness, I guess, their father being beaten up. And then Jake the Snake Roberts, you see him in his career kind of tumble a little bit, where he's making ends meets with, when it wasn't used to, where he fell out of the WWF. He's doing, I think, just low profile wrestling. I don't know if that's the right word. I feel like it's disrespecting the wrestling craft, and if it is, I do apologize. It's just they're not mainstream. I don't see it as mainstream. Um, where you see him struggle with drugs, um, relationship with his daughter, and not having a good relationship with his father, and you just see you just learn his life, his tragic life, where he doesn't really have a light to shine in, and where he expresses some of his dark thoughts, where it's actually a little bit scary, but also you feel sorry for his that he's battling some demons. And then with Terry Funk, you see him in his 50s, really kind of close to his retirement, but continuing to prolong his legacy when he helps grow the ECW brand. Where during the, I guess, late 90s, ECW was still evolving. I remember ECW. I was more into WWF, and I remember WCW. Unfortunately, I wish I've taken the time to watch more of both of those other brands, WCW and ECW. But I'm sorry, WWF just got to me, man. I was curious though, because I did like Sting. I did like Sting. Not familiar with ECW. I've seen a few matches. Kept me interested. And it's really interesting to see that with Terry Funk's, he's dealing with, I think was it multiple sclerosis? No. It's where you're he's dealing with knee injuries, and he's not able to continue the rate of wrestling as he wants to, and he's given the option to retire, which he does not do it right away. I think in the documentary he retires for like 3 months, and then he goes back to it, officially retiring in 2003. Uh, and then you see that wrestling are in their passion. You see it, like they love it, and it's tough to kind of steer away from it, though it does impact on people's. It's a sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice where it deals with seeing these wrestlers doing what they love, but also impacting their family life, or they're doing it for a specific reason, where they're trying to get away or battling certain things internally. And it's interesting to really see. It gets kind of psychological, mostly with Jake the Snake Roberts. And then they show the director also talks about a little bit other wrestlers. One of them is trying to get into Hollywood. There's another one that, actually, there was two of them that auditioned and had a match on WWF, but unfortunately, in the documentary, it's mentioned they didn't make it, but they're still trying. Which I hope. I should have researched this before I started, but I hope that they did, because it's It's a tragic where one lives through life without fulfilling their dreams. And I'm sure that happens a lot. And to see people, I'm trying to fulfill my dream uh, and trying to do better, uh, physically and mentally. Um, so it does give you a sense of reality of not everything is wrapped up in, or I want to say maybe sugar coated. That life just happens when it deals with pursuing certain things with their lives. But I find it to be a very, very interesting and one of my favorite documentaries ever. Uh, you can actually watch it for free on YouTube. I'll link the description below, in the description below, where you can watch it. I highly recommend it to anybody who's a big fan of wrestling. Um, this documentary is old, but hell, I still love it to this day. Beyond the Mat, have you seen it? Comment below, let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.